here we go with another handmade antique vintage junk journal from Hyperstamper. That's me, Laura. And I made this lovely book from a vintage novel called One Basket. And I made the cover of this because it was just a plain cover, as you can see. I actually made the cover out of a whole whack of the antique signature spines that you find when you pull the pages out of an antique book. And I love the texture of these. I use them all the time. I have a basket full of them. And I put some vintage crochet doily here, and I found the word inspiration in a book. So I cut it out and I put it in this little frame. And see this little beauty here? That is like it was a decoration on an old dresser from the 1800s. I was able to pry it off. I did break it when I pried it off. But I was able to glue it back. You can hardly tell, and I love it. So let's take a look inside. I love the inside pages. These little images are so Art Deco-y and just kitschy. I love them all. So right here we have an old sewing pattern, vintage sewing pattern that I made, page that I made into a pocket. And this is, I'm not sure what this is. It's a greeting card. It would have been like a postcard, but likely like a greeting card style. And I have no idea what year it's from. I just know it's very old. And up here, the title of this book page is said, "The Woman Who Tried to Be Good." I think that's pretty hysterical all by itself. And that's from the original book. And here is just a bit of antique page that I had left over to cover up some space so you have more space to journal. And again, you can paint on here, you can cover it with your own ephemera, have loads of fun. I did get asked to leave some space for people to add to. Not easy for me to do. This is one side of a vintage pocket. And this is a lovely image. If I had as much money, and that came from this 1940s Mother Goose book here. And there is the top of this pattern. Look how fun is that? Look at the hair. Oh my gosh. And there's a pocket in here, and inside that pocket I'm going to slip in a present just for you. When you check out, please leave me some information about yourself that I can surprise you with, a piece of antique paper that is meaningful to you. It's from an encyclopedia page from the 1940s, and this pocket is made out of an antique book page. And this is a page from the ballroom dancing book. And I just love it. This is the tango. Isn't that fun? And how to dance in a crowd without bumping and breaking people's legs, I guess. I don't know, just hilarious. Here's some vintage doily, another spine piece here in a cluster. And this is from that wonderful, I'm down to the last three now, pages from Demarest's magazine, women's magazine from 1893. Isn't that beautiful? It's delicate, but you're going to love it. You're just going to love having that little piece of history. I made this pocket out of a 1920s music sheet, also a bit delicate. And this is just a little piece from the London Times. Is that neat? And a vintage postcard here. And I believe this one is from the about 1905, 1910. And you can tell that it's the vehicles are horse and buggy, so there were no motorized vehicles in the picture. This is a 1970s receipt mounted on top of a vintage atlas page. Oh, Great Lakes, that's fun. That's where I'm from. And then another one of Pearl Shop's receipts here, folded in half, and a 1943 accounting ledger page, and you can enjoy reading all the money people owed each other back in the day. And this is the cover, an inside page of The Best of Bridge, Royal Treats for Entertaining. I just thought, I know it's beat up, I like it more that it's beat up. And look at the look. I think these ladies all got their hair done by the same hairdresser. They're exactly the same. Oh, the things I noticed. Love the type numbers at the top of the accounting pages. It's my favorite thing. This is an early 1900s page out of Through Storm to Sunshine book. And the flip side of this, look at these double butterflies here made out of antique book pages, and the same with the flower up there. And this little paper doll from the 50s is a little, I believe, a little sailor outfit and just a cute little dress and hat. Almost hobby-like, isn't it? And a little glassine envelope is actually a vintage stamp envelope as well. Sorry if I'm not in camera there. All right, here we go. this is a 1898 stereoscope card, Taking Care of Mama's Flowers. Isn't that sweet? Oh, I love it. I had a couple of these actually, this one. It's one of my favorites. Oh my gosh, two little kids watering the flowers. And that's, again, 1898, and there's a 1926 accounting ledger page for you to do more journaling in. And that handmade paper infused with wildflowers. Isn't that pretty? Not antique. Everything else is antique and vintage paper, authentic, except for my tea-dyed pages and that one page there. And this lovely Paris, the Champs-Élysées. I know people are going to get this journal just because they want the picture. It is from a vintage school book. Look how great! More Parisian images. And again, here we go. This is another one of these, the last of the full page spreads from this wonderful 1930 edition of the Blue Book of Interior Design. So very Art Deco-y, very beautiful. There was only 12 spreads like this in the book, so it didn't go very far for me. I wish I had 1,000 of them. There's more Paris photographs from that book. Aren't they fun? They're just, it's wonderful. And then there's a lesson, une entrevue. And this page here came from the 1800s, and it is out of this little book here. As you can see, it's completely fallen apart. But I'm going to use these on a journal cover. And this marbling is awesome, but it's from 1888, and it's a play, a little play, the full script of that there. Here's Robin Hood's Escape, a story from a children's storybook in the 1930s, and another doily, and this is from that Theater Arts magazine. Isn't that fun? From the 1940s. And this is from Freckles, a 1904 book, and it's got its own, look at this, it's got a journal in it, and a pen. And I made this little booklet just out of scrap papers, antique papers, and I put a little sewing pattern, vintage sewing pattern there. And here's a little page with poems on it. Twilight and Theory and Practice. Really sweet, sweet, sweet poems. And this is from that 1940s Horse magazine, and it is naturally aged that color. I love it. Stunning, stunning photos here. And then I made this little double pocket and put in this vintage recipe with an advertisement on the back. I tea-dyed that, and then I added some more journaling paper there from the 1920s. Again, you can glue down this pocket just by adding glue underneath here, up the side and down the bottom, and even fold it back, and you can tuck more of your own ephemera and treats in there. And at the end, I found this lovely chapter title here, The End, which it is, the end of this beautiful, beautiful journal. So I hope you will visit my Etsy shop, etsy.com/shop/hyperstamper with a capital H. And don't forget to subscribe so you can get these journals before they hit Etsy momentarily. Bye for now.